Welcome to the Sage Quest, the ultimate gamified learning tool that turns WGU competencies into epic quests you'll actually love conquering. Master every competency, level up your future. Start your Sage Quest at www.thesagequest.com.
Hey, welcome. Have you ever just looked at something in your room, your phone, a book, anything, and really thought, how in the world did this get here? Well, today we are going on an adventure. We're going to pull back the curtain on the incredible secret journey that basically everything you own takes to get from a factory to your front door. No, really, just stop and think about it for a second. That favorite toy, that game you love, it didn't just poof into existence on a store shelf. It had to travel, maybe across oceans, definitely across highways, all to make its way to you. It's a pretty wild thought, right?
So, to help us figure this all out, we've got a couple of guides. First, we're going to follow our friend Ollie the Owl as he makes his big trip. And our teacher for this whole thing? Well, that's the one and only Professor Hoot. He knows everything about these journeys.
All right, before Ollie can even take his first step, Professor Hoot says there are two big ideas we need to get our heads around. Think of these as the rules of the road. They're the foundation for this entire adventure. Okay, first up is a word you've probably heard, logistics. So what is it? Put simply, logistics is all the moving and shaking. It's the trucks, the ships, the warehouses, the people sorting all the boxes. It's the real nitty-gritty work of physically getting stuff from one place to another. But here's the thing. Logistics is just one part of a way bigger picture. That bigger picture is called the supply chain. The supply chain is the entire adventure map. It starts way back with the folks who supply the materials to make Ollie. It includes the factory, it includes all the logistics we just talked about, and it ends with you, the customer. It's the whole shebang. Professor Hoot actually has these awesome little formulas for us. See? Logistics is about managing the stuff and then distributing it. But the supply chain, that's the full recipe. You take your suppliers, add in all the logistics, and then add the customer at the end. It really shows you how logistics just fits right inside that bigger supply chain. Okay, now that we've got the lingo down, it's time for the fun part. Let's actually see it happen. Ollie is all packed up, he's ready to go, and his amazing journey starts right now. Every great trip needs a map, and here's what Ollie's usually looks like. He starts at the factory, of course, where he's made. From there, he'll probably go to a giant warehouse for sorting. Then he's off to a store where he waits patiently, and finally he makes that last, most important leap to his new home. Now here's where it gets interesting. Just like any road trip, there's not just one way to get to your destination. The people who made Ollie have to make some pretty important choices about which path is best. So what's it going to be for Ollie? Is he going to get a non-stop first-class ticket straight to his new friend? Or is his journey going to be more like a scenic route with a few helpful stops along the way? And that's really what it boils down to. You've got two main kinds of paths. The first is the direct channel. That's the direct flight. Ollie goes straight from the people who made him right to your door. Then you have the indirect channel. This is where he has a few layovers, visiting helpers like wholesalers or retail stores before he gets to you. And believe me, you see these paths in action all the time. Anytime you order something online and it ships right from the company's own warehouse, that's a direct path. But when you walk into a store and buy something off the shelf, that item almost certainly took an indirect path, stopping at a huge distribution center before it ever got to that store. So, as you can imagine, managing all these trips and different paths can be a massive, massive job. So what happens when a company gets a little overwhelmed and needs some help? Well, they call for backup. And that's exactly right. Look, the company that makes Ollie, they're experts at making awesome owls. They're probably not experts in international shipping or warehouse management, so it often makes sense for them to hire expert helpers whose entire job is to plan these trips. And there are different kinds of helpers they can hire. A 3PL, or third-party logistics company, is kind of like hiring a professional mover. They are the ones with the trucks and the warehouses. They physically do the moving. But then you have a 4PL. Think of a 4PL as the master travel agent. They might not own any trucks themselves, but they are the brains of the operation, planning the whole journey and coordinating all the different 3PLs and movers to make it happen smoothly. So, picture this. Ollie has made it all the way across the country. He's passed through warehouses and distribution centers. He's now at the local delivery station in your town. He is so close. But guess what? This last little step is, believe it or not, the hardest part of the entire adventure.
I mean, after all that, right, after all the master planning, the giant container ships, the huge trucks, what could possibly be so tough about this last little bit of the journey?
It's so tricky, it has its own special name, the final mile. It's that last leg of the journey from the local delivery hub to your actual front door. And it is, without a doubt, the most complicated and most expensive part of the whole trip.
So why? Why is it so hard? Well, think about it. Sending one giant truck with 1,000 ollies to one single warehouse is super efficient. But the final mile means sending one delivery truck to 100 different houses in a neighborhood. It's totally unpredictable. What if you're not home? Is it safe to leave the package? Plus, delivery trucks often have rules about when and where they can park. All of this adds up to make it super complex, very expensive, and it's also where returns are most likely to happen, which means poor Ollie has to do the whole trip in reverse.
So from the huge strategy of the supply chain, all the way down to that tricky final mile, getting something to your home is this amazing, complicated dance of planning and movement. The next time that doorbell rings, maybe you'll see that box a little differently, not just as your stuff, but as a little traveler who has completed an absolutely epic quest. So I'll leave you with this. What part of its incredible journey will you think about